Okay, I think I get to welcome you all over again. It's wonderful to see everybody. It's been a couple months since we've been able to get together. So I'm very pleased today to say hello to the 1960 people and a couple people up in the balcony and all of you here today. As you know, we always make meeting minutes and we have sent those out. They have been approved. You'll find them on the website and again in hard copy in the library and in the mailroom. So first of all, I want to welcome our new people who have come and joined us in December. I think we had 13 new people coming. I heard that a few of them are going to be here today, but I only see the hoods back there. The hoods, as you may know, came from the San Francisco area, so I'm afraid they might be 49ers fans. So look out. We also have Don and Shirley Williams, who are with us. If any of you guys are here today, would you please stand so we can get to know you? The Williams are not here, but they're from Boulder. They have a son who's studying, a grandson who's studying now in Spain, and they tell me that V is very friendly because they consistently get lost from their apartment and somebody comes up to help them find it again. So then we have Linda Englander, and Linda's been here for a while, but she hasn't sold her house in Connecticut. So she's back and forth, but she's on her way back now and would like to have some dinner invitations. Also, we have a Merritt and a Barrett. So Merritt and Barrett, Kenny Merritt and Tom Barrett are moving into 155. They come over every day. I'm not sure they're completely moved in, but they swim in our pool and they always have breakfast. So if you'd like to meet them, just show up at about 8:30 and have some food. Also, we have Harold Bryce, who has moved in, and I know for sure he has, because he's right across the hall from me. And his name is Harry, and Harry is also looking for some dinner companions. He's been a GP here in Phoenix for about 40 years, so I'm sure that you'll have something to talk about. And last but not least, we have Anne Seward and Laszlo Gagne, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and they're moving into the Casitas. And I thought they were going to be here today because Judy Vickers told me they would. Yeah, really. So do the introductions. Anyway, so we're really pleased to have them. They, if you want to meet up with them, they have a little dog, or a big dog, actually, an Irish setter that they're walking every day. So go out there and find them. So now that we've introduced those of us who are on board for the moment, I want to let you know that we have at least 10 more people who are camping, waiting to come. Their apartments will be ready soon. So next month, you're going to get to know a whole new set of people and look forward to it. We're only selecting the best, as you guys know. We are concluding our 2023 council today. And one of the main things that we do, as you all know, is the Employee Appreciation Fund. We had a wonderful turnout. We had wonderful generosity this year. We collected a substantial amount of money that we were able to share with our employees. And Steve Brown, who is our treasurer, has put together a little presentation for us. And he's going to tell you exactly how everything ended up at the end of 2023. So, Steve, I'm going to turn it over to you.
How you doing? Great, great. I'm doing great. It's a lot better than November. It's a pretty busy time. No, okay. Audio? Yeah, okay. I'm doing great after a pretty busy November, thanks to you. And the most important thing that I want to share with you today about the EAF is thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all the people in the lodge. Thank you to all the people in the casitas, and thank you to all the people in the care center. You're wonderful. Generosity was overabundant and shown on the faces of the employees in December when we had a chance to see them and deliver personally the checks at the holiday party for all the hourly employees. You made those people extremely happy throughout the month of December and beyond with your generosity. When we last met in November, I thanked a lot of individuals, but today really the thank you goes to all of you. I'm just so impressed and so proud to be a part of this community. Let me briefly tell you what's happened since December, or actually the November meeting. We closed the campaign on Friday, December 1st. And of course, we had a few checks, coming in along after that. And then we prepared checks that next week and thank you notes personalized to all the employees. And then they were distributed to the employees at their holiday party on Friday, December 8th. And let's take a look at a few photos from that holiday party. Renee, do we have the clicker? Okay, that would help. This only goes for a little while, then you gotta reset it. Okay. What do you do without Renee? Okay. This is what should have been showing while I was talking before. But let's take a look at a few of the photos from the employee holiday party. Okay, can you see? All right. As you can see, it was a very festive affair. There was a lot of great music. There was a bountiful buffet. And Yannick, about every 30 minutes, the party ran from 11 to 2 o'clock. And about every 30 minutes, Yannick got up and there was a drawing for various prizes for the employees. So very, very festive occasion. A special highlight was the next slide. One more before that. Back. Okay, I guess that did, just go to the next one. I guess it didn't make the cut. We just finished the presentation a little while ago. There was some puppies that were brought in. Some of you were here one Saturday in October, and we had the Arizona Humane Society here and the CEO, and he had some puppies at that time. Well, so there's some puppies that showed up at the holiday party for all the employees, and they were a big hit as well. Next one. No, wait, you're going the wrong way.
That was the crazy
next one,
sweater
next one.
contest.
Okay. Our role was, of course, to distribute the holiday checks. And the party was located just off the new dining room on the patio. But management had all the employees come through the dining room where we were situated right adjacent to the patio. And that's where we gave out their checks. And you could see David Lemire and Tom Ensign. Tom's working kind of hard. Dave's kind of loafing there. But Dave didn't have anybody in his part of the alphabet at that time. And next slide. These were, I'm sorry, we got these. Oh, I forgot. The other responsibility we had in addition to distributing the checks was judging the ugly sweater contest. And I would say probably a majority of the employees had some sort of ugly sweater, wouldn't you say, Yannick? And as a matter of fact, even Win Holden was trying to get into the contest. He was wearing an ugly sweater that lit up, actually. Okay, let's look next. And there's a couple of our chefs enjoying themselves in the party. Yeah. Okay. And here's the some of the team. We had the resident council there, and then I think for the first time we actually had three residents that aren't on the resident council. You can see two of them here. Second from your left, Leslie Combest, and then Ken Eckelmeyer. We also had Sandy Robbins that was helping us there, and we want to continue that to give residents more of an opportunity to get to be a part of this very festive day with the employees. Okay, now we keep going forward. Okay, so how did we end up doing here? Well, the participation levels were again excellent. You can see here 233 units out of the number that were occupied at that time. I think 240 or 41 contributed, which is 97%. We actually had only 7 independent living units that did not contribute for various reasons. So from independent living, we raised $320,750 in donations, and the average per unit was $1,377. That's a little over $100 more than a year ago. So big thank you to all of you here. In the care center, we had 65% participation from the occupied units. There were 40 of those units, and their donations were $44,250. This is an all-time high for participation among care center, significantly higher. Their average unit was about the same as last year, $1,106. Now, if you look a little lower in that same slide, halfway down, the total funds that we raised were $365,000. We distributed $360,000. In the past, and we continued this as well, we always hold over a little in the amount of funds for unexpected things that might happen. We had this year, a couple of times we had non-sufficient fund checks, and the bank doesn't notify you for that for a week or 10 days or so after that. So we wanted to make sure, since we had to get the amount into accounting and HR as to how much money we had versus the number of employees that were eligible, we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be a situation where we were writing checks that we couldn't cover. So we have a little cushion there. The participation among the employees was 204 were eligible, and the average check was $1,765. Little explanation here. The average check is down about a little over $30 from last year, and this is attributed to the greater number of employees that were eligible and the fact that these employees worked more hours than they did in 2022. So that's kind of our financial summary. This is all included in the report. It's about a 5-page report and an attached financial page that will be in the minutes, and we'll put it up on the EAF Resident Council icon too on Touchtown. What? Oh, that's okay. All right. This has been a great experience for me, and I think I could tell a lot of you are very enthusiastic about it, and we're already starting to think about 2024. I guess it hasn't been announced officially yet, but I'm going to continue as the treasurer, which means I'll be after you for money again next fall. But we're meeting, even a couple of us are meeting after the meeting today to already start planning for 2024 and the Employee Appreciation Fund. Thank you personally for your gift, and thank you for the opportunity to lead this effort on behalf of the Resident Council. Are there any questions?
Okay, you guys, how about giving yourself a hand? That's a terrific job that Steve did, and you can all be very proud of yourselves. Your employees here, they do appreciate it, and they express it every day and how well they serve us. Now we're not really doing a year-end. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not catching on here. We're not really doing a wrap up, but we are going to have a few reports from our resident council committee chairpersons. And as usual, we start off with Bob Griffin, who is an artist himself. And if you'd like to see some of his works, just go outside into the hallway. Some of his pictures are up in this month's exhibit. So Bob, he's pulling himself together over here.
Plugging in. Good afternoon, everyone. Doing you guys? Happy New Year. I'm going to forego the end of year summary and instead move right into our goals for this year. Welcome to the new Art Committee Report Light. I have 4 bullet points. The status of the curio cabinet display space, the new art display venue utilizing the flat screen TV in the bar, an artist reception on Valentine's Day to which all residents will be invited, and plans for a Korean War exhibit to go on display later this year. Okay, first the curio cabinet. It was used to display 3-dimensional art and various other items of interest belonging to all of our residents. The new bar area eliminated both the space for our existing curio cabinet and exhibit space on the old piano foyer wall. We urged Yannick to consider relocating it to the main floor alcove just above the OR next to the mailroom. This one, where residents now fill out their dining orders. Well, I'm delighted to report that Yannick has indicated he will construct 2 new built-in curio cabinets in that space. Thank you very much, Yannick. Next, the new art display venue. As I mentioned, we lost the exhibit space in the old piano foyer. However, we now plan to utilize the flat screen TV that's in the bar to display resident art that used to be in the so-called red books that were available for residents to look at while they awaited their dining partners. The red books held photographs of past resident art exhibits in the piano foyer. They will now be on a video loop and shown on the video screen in the bar. The third point is an artist reception. I hope you've all had a chance to look at the current art display, which is out that door, in the newly renamed with new signage, the Resident Art Gallery, formerly the Cafe Art Wall. We feature art created by all of our residents, but this month and next, we have on display works of art done only by members of the care center. Excuse me, of the art committee. So art committee members are the artists in this display, and they're terrific, if I do say so myself. While the art is still on display next month, we're going to host an artist reception on Valentine's Day, Wednesday, February 14th, from 2 to 3 o'clock in the Prickly Pear Cafe. Each of our artists will briefly discuss their work, tell a little bit about themselves, how they learned to paint, photograph, or do needlework, and so forth. All the residents are invited to attend. We're especially interested in meeting some of our newer residents who may be working on art projects of their own. I think it'll be a very interesting hour, and I hope you will all attend. Finally, the last bullet point I want to cover is a plan for a Korean War exhibit, maybe combined with the Vietnam War. Most of you will recall the really interesting display we had was it just last year? A couple of years ago, I think, utilizing resident memorabilia from World War II. It was very successful and very well liked by everybody. We also had a PowerPoint lecture describing all of the pieces in the context with respect to the war. It even resulted in a cover article in the National V newsletter. This time, we're looking to do the same thing with the Korean War. Depending on how many items we get, we may have to expand it to include the Vietnam War. I hope to display it in our new curio cabinet when they're available. We'll be sending out an invitation for residents who served in the two conflicts to donate items of interest and maybe some memories as well. That covers my report for this quarter. As you can see, we're off to a busy start. Our committee meets on the first Monday of the month at 10 a.m. in the studio. Visitors are invited. Our next meeting will be on February 7th. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Bob. Well, as you know, the art committee, we have a number of really talented artists here, and I know one of the new people coming in is an artist herself, so I'm sure we'll get her onto the art committee. Now we have Ed Vickers, who, as you all know, has done a terrific job over the last 2 years of being the committee chair for grounds and buildings, or buildings and grounds, correcting me. And he shepherded us through the remodel. He's here to give us his last report. And as you'll be able to see, since we're not remodeling, he is not wearing his hard hat today. Ed?
Don't worry, I passed it on, so, Okay, much shortened, notes, for this meeting as we're trying to move along. So, if you want to go look at the full report, it's up in, Touchtown or the library and or the, mailroom. Well, we ended up with 250 rounds of scheduled golf for kind of a combined November, December. Some weather, some holiday, but not bad for the time. Our sanding and rolling has been, at least the first round of it has been completed. Luis tells me that they have a roller in-house, so they can bring it out if we need to speed up the greens a little bit. So keep us posted. The winter trim is just really basically been completed, and with the exception of the lantanas, they'll be done when we think that the first or the final freeze will be. So just be patient. Come March, April, I think everything starts popping back out. It'll look real wonderful again. In resident services, the saloon, those of you that are used the saloon, the salon, excuse me, we all use this. On the way to the salon via the saloon, the new chair evidently has been procured and was being shipped into the corporate warehouse system somewhere and should be arriving soon. A number of the engineering things, you will probably remember we had the 76th Street entrance kind of blocked off for a couple weeks. That has been all completed. And there is going to be one more asphalt, work. It's going to be up in the 500s. They'll be announced when it's going to take place. Robert will put out a memo, but that'll be the final asphalt work for this year for 2024. He gave us, Robert did share with us a few projects because a lot of his projects don't really hit the, I'm going to call it the CIRR or the capital projects. They get budgeted into his budget. Couple of them. First of all, the one you probably haven't noticed is he's added accent lights in the entrance area and in the pool area. But I'm sure the Christmas lights kind of overshadowed the entrance area, but now they're gone and you can really see them. So with the exception of maybe a little adjustments to get better spotting that'll take place, they really are looking good. We have the HVAC program continuing. We're into common areas now, so they'll be doing a lot of the hallways and so forth in the community this year. The wood lattice and the entrance area will be replaced this year. And this is pretty exciting. At least I felt like we're going to have, and I'm going to call it the the entrance area, the one closest to the lodge, not the half that goes out to Thompson Peak, the cafe or the Pear patio, and I think the care center are all gonna be, the concrete's gonna be restained. So it'll all, we won't have patchwork concrete out there anymore. That'll be done this year as well. One last little thing, and Robert eked it out. I hope it's okay, because I think it's well underway. And the B wing residents will be real happy because the re-roof for the B wing is being scheduled. And once this gets final details put together, they'll put out a memo on how it'll take place, but that should hopefully take care of our leakers that we've been having for the last couple of years. Last but not least, I'd really enjoy if you would join me and thank the 2023 B&G team and give the best, all the best to the 2024 team to help maintain our community in the very best possible way that we can. So a big thank you.
Need to show Ed how much we appreciate all the work that B&G does and that he does for us. Now I have another committee chairman who will be departing. Connie Sonnenberg has been instrumental in starting the Care Center Committee from several years ago. And she's going to tell us about what the committee does, whereas Melanie tells us what they do over in the Care Center administratively. So Connie, step up.
Thank you, Susan. I think you all know what we do in the Care Center, on the Care Center Committee. We're one voice in one community now, and it's taken a long time, but we're very proud of that. The committee is pleased that things continue to go well in our Care Center. The Transition Assistance Program, the Caring Neighbors Program, and the activity volunteers have been very active. Piano players have been sought for memory support, and we actually have one that will be volunteering. I guess I can say it's Edie Randall, I think on Fridays. And the Care Center Committee members will have an opportunity to participate in the newly formed coffee klatch gatherings. Care Center staff has been receiving training and introducing and expanding resident programs in assisting and in memory support. Also, a memo is planned, I think, to provide guidance on the Alpenglow dining use by Care Center residents. And Melanie will likely speak to this, maybe. Thanks to those of you who have and continue to serve this committee. This is a volunteer role that is absolutely for the greater good of the V community. A summary of 2023 will be attached to the Resident Council January minutes, also on Touchdown and in the binder in the Information Center and the library. The summary includes information on the ongoing time provided to the Care Center Committee, as well as information on the several Care Center staff positions that have had to be filled this year. Management has done a yeoman's job of fulfilling the needs of the residents throughout these transitions. Barb Eckelmeyer has accepted the Care Center Committee chair role, and with her productive years and service on this committee, she will bring the continuity and the leadership that's needed. Thank you all very much. Connie Sonnenberg.
We're all really glad to know the Care Center is working fine because we'll all be over there sooner or later. Anyway, thanks, Connie. Now you all got notices, or I hope you mostly did today, and I can thank our Communication Information Committee for that. Bob Steele, who has been instrumental this year in establishing the V Council emails going out to all of you. And he's going to tell you what other things are going on in the CIC group. Bob?
Thank you. CIC for the past few months was working very hard to get the email system operational. It is now that way. For those of you who are not part of that, you could get in now before the fee goes up. It'd be a good idea to be doing that, but see me afterward. I can help you. Anybody from CIC can help you get signed up for that as well. We join in the celebration of the Employee Appreciation Fund and all that it achieved this year. A part of that was getting an EAF icon on the website along with the elections icon, and getting EAF content on the website, which was a little tricky to do at the beginning, but it's working out well by the end of it. Congrats again to the whole Employee Appreciation Fund effort and Steve in making that work and getting the information on the website under the EF icon, and also sent out to everybody by email. In the course of 2024, CIC is going to be doing an every other year review of all the website structure and content. And for us, this is a tricky topic because we only have 5 people in the committee. We've usually got at least 5, maybe 10 opinions of how things ought to be organized on that. So we have to work at it. During our last review, which was a year and a half ago, we added several new website icons and functions that hadn't been there before. One of them, the resident photo directory, the updates icon, the help desk icon, the birthday icon, the in memoriam icon. Those were all new as a result of work that we did. They will continue. We're hovering at almost 40 icons at the moment. So if you have particular ones you like, you're welcome to vote. Just alert one of us. We use statistics to be able to do that, and our statistics will continue in this next year. It's very interesting to see the food, friends, things to do, always at the top of our website with dining and resident directory and the activities directory taking center stage and all of that. Interestingly, though, is the number 4 one almost every single month is the games icon. When you guys aren't busy listening to somebody or reading about things, it looks like people here like to play games. In about 2 weeks, there's another website icon coming, a brand new one. It will be used to show the community all fee-based services that we all use, like the Muir Hair Salon, tech support from Abby, transportation services, outside transportation services rather, concierge medical services from Andrea Tuthill. And, we're really looking forward to see that operational. We think it'll be a good benefit to everybody because it'll have all the fee-based services in one location. And I'd like to thank the management team here for helping to organize that. Also coming in 2024 is a new feature that's going to be called a digital bulletin board. We think that you'll all like that a lot. It's a very large video screen. It'll be divided into subsections. Thinking it is like a number of different sections that can be adjusted individually. Those subsections will have information in them, like the monthly calendar that can be updated with remotely and not having to worry about pinning it to a bulletin board. It'll have sections in there that will have management bulletins like the fire alarm system upgrade, where there were a lot of emails that went out, the repaving project, up-to-date information on our dining remodeling. All of that kind of thing will be in one spot, and it'll be easy to be able to see because they can update sections of it as they need to as we go along. It's been approved. It'll be installed as soon as it can be. It'll be in the info center, which you often call mail room. And I think you're going to find that it's a pretty nice system. With some luck, our distributed antenna system that was been in the approved capital list for last year was delayed due to what we'll call an IT data event. The installation timeline isn't completely clear on it, but the primary thing that the distributed antenna system will do is improve cell phone operation throughout the community, throughout the campus. Probably not going to be 100%, but it'll be a whole lot better than it is right at the moment. CIC has been asked to help support the system by helping to explain what it does, and we've got our fingers crossed that we can actually do that. One of the nice things from it will be the fact that we could actually use our cell phones like I can't do in here right at the moment. So we're really looking forward to that. And I believe in the midst of all this, there's also some new transportation scheduling software that's going to work its way into the process. So those are all new things that are coming. Anyone who wants to sign up for the resident council email, they can see me after the meeting or contact anybody on our committee and we can get you signed up. It's really easy to do. And thank you. That's it for me today.
I believe we can all agree that Touchtown is getting better and better all the time. I can't wait for that DAS system when I can actually get my cell phone to work. Now we have another departing committee chairperson who's done yeoman's work all year. And she's head of the committee that we love to hate, dining committee. So everybody has an idea about food. And luckily we have Mary to advocate for us. Mary Lemire.
Oh. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Good afternoon. Oops, got things in the wrong order here. First thing I'd like to do is thank my stalwart committee members for their service this year. Josie Bagby, Ralph Weyerbaur, Laura Ensign, Sandy Robbins, Ellie Fields, and Lisa Nolan. It was a year with many twists, turns, and obstacles, and I commend them for all we were able to accomplish. I heard a comment recently, it was relayed to me, that our committees don't get much done. I hope you will differ after this brief report. Our goals and objectives for the year aimed at being a conduit for information and discussion between our residents and management, as well as from management to residents. We also aimed to help the community through the renovation disturbance and to help return to dining normalcy as quickly as possible upon reopening. I've been on the dining committee for 9 years, and I'm delighted to report that for the first time in that period, I, as chair, was asked to meet with a member of the Chicago management team, the head of food and beverage from Chicago, Stephen Fowler. We had a 1.5 hour talk, and he promised to return and visit with the whole committee. I certainly hope that will be the case. Ralph Weyerbaur and his subcommittee were able to organize and publish a list on our website of all the foods available to residents that are not able to be listed on our menus. A subcommittee successfully put together a plan for social dining for singles. This is an effort that's been tried and has failed many previous times. Hopefully, this friendship table will return soon on Tuesday evenings, and the program will be expanded. In April, we delivered an executive summary and transcripts of our food focus groups to Yannick and the RC chair. These groups gathered information from over 86 residents who volunteered their time to try to convey information to management. We eventually succeeded in getting Chef Chris to restore such events as kitchen tours, chef's tables, and chef demos to our schedule. We lobbied for Sunday coffee service during the renovation, not just for the needed caffeine, but for the socialization. We were able to, oh, sorry, this is my handwriting. Oh, we were able to have a meeting invited by management to give our input to the new menus for the new venues. It was a very successful meeting with lots of praise and to go around. One of the menus that will now be available in Alpenglow will not have prices listed. so that when you bring your guests, you won't have to tell them how much you're treating them to. Greg was pleased to put pictures of all servers on the website, so now we can review their names successfully and occasionally. We requested and received a very successful open house event for the new dining venues. We held discussions with management and succeeded in conveying opinions that jackets should not be required in Alpenglow and that Alpenglow should be open for lunch. We lobbied and got menus to be available 2 weeks ahead of time. Since we were able to make reservations 2 weeks ahead, we're glad that was seen as reasonable. And lastly, we made sure we had real turkey on Thanksgiving. Now just a few notes from our last meeting. Greg will be trying to address issues with frequent cancellations of dining reservations. The names of all residents at a reserved table need to be put on the open table form. We realize that this is not the norm for fine dining establishments, but it is necessary to make our system here work. A mobile phone policy was discussed. A cell phone may not be used to make or receive calls in our dining venues during business hours. You want to show somebody your grandchildren, by all means, please go ahead. But do not make outgoing or receive incoming. The committee has received comments on the coffee machine that are all over the map. Greg is working with the vendor to address formulas. Eventually, this service will be available around the clock. Trays of dirty dishes are being removed more rapidly from Alpenglow, but scraping will continue to happen. There is no other location that works for this. A list of items was conveyed to Culinary containing items that residents are missing from previous menus. These include real chili, not chili soup, cookies, especially jumbo and pecan, morning muffins, especially bran, Reuben and grilled cheese. In Alpenglow, coffee ice cream, mashed potatoes, French fries, omelets. By the way, omelets are only available in Alpenglow if you have a medical issue that you've notified the kitchen of in advance. They're always available in the pair. Greg Beckley and his team, Executive Sous Chef Shuby and Sous Chef Marco were uniformly praised by the committee for their can-do attitude and for circulating in our venues to engage residents. And they were thanked for all the improving food and presentations. Greg Beckley and his team were also praised for all their hard work. Lastly, Yannick discussed the hiring of our new executive chef. We have had over 100 applicants. At least 20 have been interviewed. Only members of the management who deal with food are involved in these interviews or the tastings that the final candidates are preparing. It was clear that no residents will be involved in this hiring process. I closed the meeting with 3 hopes for the 2024 committee. Number 1, that they continue to value your input, that they will continue to find ways to solicit your opinions, and that they will enjoy a new executive chef who also values resident input. Thank you.
I think we're all pretty glad to see our new dining venues and how beautiful they are. And just to let you know that the dining committee did have a substantial impact on the things that we see over there. And they're relentlessly pursuing the best cuisine we can have here at V. So now, in order to do some of that, we have to spend a little money. So we have another Lemire here, David, who is going to explain to us how our finance committee is working. Dave?
Thank you, Susan. Struggle with this. Is that working okay? Everybody pick it up? Everyone? All right, great. Well, a belated Happy New Year to everyone and best wishes from your Finance Committee for a prosperous 2024. Let's take a look at the last financial year. We now have unaudited full financial year results for 2023. While they're subject to change during the annual external audit, past audits have not had material adjustments, so I feel confident in today's report. We finished 2023 with a net operating income of about $118,000 to a plan of about $3,500. You may recall that last month we were projecting net operating income of around $250,000. What happened? Well, among other things, culinary came in $200,000 over budget in the month of December. We had to postpone the Finance Committee meeting until this week, so I don't have an explanation yet. Check out our meeting minutes when they're posted, or come and attend the meeting on Thursday and hear what happened. The surplus will be applied to our deficit of about $244,000. That was incurred battling the COVID pandemic. And that will leave us about $525,000 to be recovered from future fee increases. The capital item replacement reserve finished the year in the red just over $5 million. That also will be recovered in future years. Your committee had 3 goals for the past year. One of them was related to expanding the knowledge of committee members so that they make them sources of financial understanding throughout the community. We accomplished that goal. The other 2 were to act as a financial champion for residents and to advocate for the minimum annual fee increase consistent with the care and amenities promised in our life care agreements. I'd grade us as partially accomplishing these goals. We certainly advocated for residents' rights, which you know if you came to Finance Committee meetings. But I'm not sure that this year's 5.85% was the minimum fee increase possible. We were unsuccessful in convincing management that all of the above plan occupancy achievements in the care center should be baked into the 2024 budget. And we were unsuccessful in establishing a process for managing the turn times of vacated IL units. Many of you have observed to the committee that some IL units sit unoccupied and not generating fees to support the committee for seemingly inexplicable months. While the committee understands we can never achieve 100% occupancy, we believe there is room for improvement in turn times if management has the will. On the other hand, 5.85% is certainly better than 9.75%. How about an A for effort and a B for accomplishment? Looking to the future. Well, this is my last time addressing you as chair of the Finance Committee. I've been involved with the committee since 2016 and have chaired it 3 times. I'll be serving on resident council in 2024, so I was not selected for finance. So let me thank the 2023 Finance Committee for their service. You may know sometimes you serve on a committee and it seems like a few members do the majority of the work. Not so this year. Everyone, even including past chair Ralph Lipford, was a full participant. So thank you to Catherine Covert, to Ralph, Bob Smith, Judy Vickers, Wynn Wade, and Stan Whitcomb. And I want to extend a special thanks to Michelle Showalter, our Director of Accounting. She and I have had some spirited discussions over the years, yet she's remained ever helpful to the committee and always courteous to me. Resident council terms are only for 2 years, so who knows, someday I may be back on the committee, or if the need arises, back talking to you as chair. But for now, thank you and goodbye.
Well, we've had reports from 6 of our committees, but we had 4 other committees too. So this being my last chance to talk to you, I want to thank so many people who worked all, all the time. For our committee chairs, we have Peggy here and Karen back there. For our program committee, we have Marge and the hospitality committee that did such wonderful work mentoring all our newbies. We had Judy Heidkamp that tried and tried to get an election for us. And who did I miss? Anyway, tell me. Well, anyway, everybody worked. We know that. And you all benefited from it, I hope. So with that being said, I would like to do some special thank yous. First of all, Billy Wall, who provides us with so much support, and all the agendas here that are printed out. Billy did those and does every month. Renee, without whom we obviously can't run the projectors or speak to you correctly or have anything broadcast. Thank you, Renee, back there. I would also like to particularly notice the resident council members who, Jerry Marshall, number one, he's a retiring member this year. Stand up, Jerry. He's been a past president of the resident council also. He's been an unflagging worker for us. And we had two members who were part of the membership this year, but resigned for various reasons. One is Ron Sonnenberg, who also came on as my advisor. So Ron, thanks to you. And a special thank you to Sharon Sabina, who has been secretary on the council. And then when we needed another council member, Sharon became our recording secretary. And I think she's done it for like 5 years at least. So she has retired for medical reasons, but she's done an incredible, fantastic job for us for years. Thank you, Sharon. And now, in addition to those committee chairpersons that are retiring, I am retiring as well. So I thought you would like to have a new leader for 2024. And I would like our new leader, who is duly elected, Win Holden, to come on up here, get his official gavel. Win tells me he doesn't need another gavel. He has 14 already at home. Nevertheless, he's going to get one. And now he's going to introduce the 2024 resident council members, and I don't know, the committee chairs as well.
Well, thank you, Susan. What I'm going to first do is thank you for your tremendous service as leading this group, and have been on council and have chaired it before. So in order to give you some time to recoup.
He's scaring me now, guys.
We have some alcohol for you to enjoy at your convenience, and it's all for you, baby.
It doesn't look like it's enough to share, but we're going to try to do something about that.
There's more where that came from. So
Excellent.
thank you,
Well,
Susan.
thank you all. You bet.
I'm going to forego introducing, I mean, we're running late and we have not yet heard from management. So we'll introduce the new council to you individually, but for the moment, would all of them who are here, please. So you know who to aim at. There they are. Thank you, guys. We'll introduce the new committee chairs to you and in February but I certainly want to cede the floor to our management representative so you have an opportunity to chat.
Thanks, Win.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Melanie Bartola, the Care Center Administrator. Also starting off by wishing everyone a happy new year. I can't say it very many more times, but since we're almost at the end of January. But I always look forward to the last resident council meeting, hearing some of the committee reports and starting that period of reflection for everything that's happened within this room and also the care center. Most recently, in the care center, we have had to close dining rooms in assisted living and skilled nursing due to some COVID cases. Currently, the AL dining room and activities have reopened. So we were able to do that successfully, but the skilled nursing dining room and group activities remain closed. And we do that, we really aim to keep those COVID numbers low, but with such close quarters and so many people sharing spaces, we make that decision to do that. On to other things, our recruitment efforts and retention efforts continue. We've dropped to below 10 open positions and have some staff in training. And so we're really focused on that training to have a good transition to those permanent positions and help build those staff to stay with us on part of our team. This will continue to be a primary goal for 2024 for the overall leadership and understanding there. The lifestyle space is fully complete in assisted living, so that room is completely done. We will be doing a video tour of that space, adding it to the website as we have with our other care center spaces since the renovation. So we are very excited about that. And in 2024, we will be redoing the dining rooms in skilled nursing and assisted living. So those will be kind of the big projects happening there. On that note, I will piggyback off what Mrs. Sonnenberg said about a memo. We'll be preparing a memo. Greg Beckley and Alex Kubiak, our registered dietitian and nutrition services manager in the care center, will be putting something out to the care center residents because there have been a lot of questions of how they can come experience our new dining venues. Our lifestyles manager, Autumn Davis, she did a tour for some residents, partnered with Greg to do that, to bring some residents over that maybe wouldn't want to dine but did want to see the new spaces as they've lived in independent living before. So that was nice. We did have a few residents come over. So we will be doing that soon. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Please.
I am recorded. I'll be very cautious, not too many jokes. I want to echo the same sentiment to all the outgoing committee members. My team loves to go to your meetings and work with you on the opportunities and issues that present themselves to the community. And so thank you to all of you. And we do understand there are some new residents who will take some leadership roles, and we do want to continue working with these committees. And a special thank you to Susan, who is giving her place, so to speak, to win. Now, we just wanted to thank you very much. Renee, if you could, on that table back there, there's a small planter. So my team wanted to give you a token of our appreciation. So here's a small planter for you. Thank you so much for all you did. This is from the whole team. So, right?
Thank you so much.
And as leaves from this planter may fall over time, let each leaf be a reminder that for each leaf, there is a problem at the community that can be resolved. All right. You may delete this from the minutes. All right. As usual, I'm here to take questions today. I'll have a town hall in February where we'll go through some information from all of 2023, from financials to capital projects to a lot of things that have happened in the community. But I'm here today, a few minutes, if there are some questions. All right, we have Ginger here who has a question.
I think this is for engineering, maybe for Ed. Where is wing B? Does anybody else know where it is? I don't know what the wings are.
Yeah, so wing B would be, so if you stood in front of the community and you looked left, right? So you're in front of the community and you're looking at it and you look left. So I think that would be sort of westward looking. Sort of above there, yeah. All right, and we do have that roof reconstruction that is coming. So this initially was a 6-week project. There will be some disruptions with this project. But the latest news in working with a contractor, we were able to find some efficiencies and we've shortened the amount of time for this project and just about half. So this will be mainly in February. It'll be a little bit unsightly and but we will have a new roof there and on that wing and we'll take it from there. So thank you for the question. Any other questions? Yeah, thank you for asking. I'll be reporting on that next month, but so currently we're still in the design development. This is the phase. So there are 2 phases that are somewhat lengthy and you don't get too much news. The design development is one. I still don't have a time when I can present on that, but as soon as I can, I will. And then we go into pre-construction with the construction plans. And so that can take some time as well. So right now we're in design development. The designers are working. We're actually doing design of all the area, phase 3 as well. We felt like it would be more efficient to do it all at once. So once I have those designs ready, I'll be able to present all of it to you. But we will still go in 2 new phases of construction. So you'll have a feeling of how things will look, but we will attack the 2 phases at 2 different times. So, and once again, I know this is going to go in the minutes, but please do know that this is only an estimate, hoping to start with corridors later this year in the second half. So more to come on that, but that's about the timeline for now. But still don't know if we can do the lobby this year or if it will go into next year, but we will have development of the design for that.
Any progress on finding a new chef and opening Prickly Pear and Alpenglow for lunch?
Thank you. So as it was communicated earlier, we're in the last innings of a search for a new executive chef. We had a candidate that was here this morning and he got grilled for 3 hours by the cabinet members. Nicely grilled, pardon the pun. And so once again, we're in the last stages. We'll be able to make a decision shortly here, maybe this week or next. We hope this works. And once we have the, for some of you remember, I did have a memo out that we would close the lunch service once we didn't have an executive chef, but once the position is filled, we will reopen maybe after a couple of weeks of the executive chef being here on the property. Back in December, when Chef Chris left, we had already some staffing issues. And so the team came to me and said, hey, we need some help to bridge us out. So the Alpenglow was for lunch service was one of those measures that we took to help the team, but this will come back. Any other questions? No? All right, great. Yep, Tom.
Will you be saying more about the resident satisfaction survey?
Yep, absolutely, yeah. As you can imagine, if you remember my last town hall, we had low culinary scores on the survey. And so obviously we've already taken some measures in that area as part of our plan, but I'll go in depth a little bit more to explain what it is we do. One thing that may be obvious and simple, you may have noticed is we've changed the comment cards in the dining rooms to represent with a little bit more what the survey questions are. In other words, if you go to dinner and you want to give a rating, the scores that you put on the cards are the same scores that you would put on the survey, the resident survey. So those two are now matching, and I think it's going to help the team a little bit more, comparing apples to apples. So that's just one example, but I'll go more in depth. Obviously, we've had some rehaul of the kitchen operation. We've had some help as well, consulting help from Chef Jeff Weston. You may have seen him around. He was here quite a bit in December and early January to assess the operation and provide some recommendations for us. So, but I'll discuss this a little bit more. Thank you. No, I don't. It will be in the second half of February. So I try to, I want to see all the calendars that come out. And there's also this meeting as well. I don't want to interfere, but it will be coming out soon. Thank you. And once again, thank you to all of the committee members who've done some good work this year. I think there's one more question. And once again.
An elephant in the room,
Okay, an elephant in the room. Hello.
COVID.
COVID, yeah. Is there a question or you just want?
What is the current count and where?
Yeah, so currently, I mean, obviously, I think most residents have a sense that we've had another spike of COVID during the month of January. Our wellness center was pretty busy with this spike, so to speak. The spike in and of itself was similar to other spikes. We look at acceleration of cases. This is what interests us here in terms of data, the community. Independent living, it really started around New Year's. Then we had a couple of weeks of acceleration in our cases. Meanwhile, the care center has been spared. We were grateful that this happened. We thought that it would spread there as well, but now we have a few cases in the care center. So we have a couple upstairs and a couple downstairs. And when I say couple, I mean two. So in independent living, it's come back to normal. We should expect these spikes to occur in the future. I'm not sure that this is really going to go away in a short span. I don't know about 10, 20 years from now, but for the next few years, we do expect these spikes to come, and we're going to manage them day by day. We're trying to be conscientious of people who want to continue to have a life of the community, and not trying to be too restrictive. Thank you. I don't even want to think of that. And so, currently in the care center, we've taken some steps, for instance, that we did not take in independent living. But we do want to be grateful to say thank you to the residents who've been affected and who have been, everybody is always cooperative, and they stay aloof while they deal with the illness. And so that part has just been great. It's been orderly. And so I think we've done some good prevention in that regard. In the future, depending on the circumstances, we may take more restrictive measures. We hope it's not going to be the case, but it could be. So I think this was my fourth spike in the 2 years here at the community. And it was very similar to all the other spikes. But yeah, once again, thanks for the question. And it's probably not over. We probably will have another one in 6 months or so. It seems like it shows up in a 4 to 6 months time period. So I know these viruses mutate and they're different. And so thank you.
Yannick, just a quick follow-up. Are visitors still welcome in the care center at this point?
Yeah, so we can't prevent visitations in a care center. It's regulation, right? People can and will have visits. Now, we may decide how these happen. The structure of them is a little bit up to the community, but we can still do visits. So currently we have closed dining rooms, and they may reopen shortly here. And we have a few residents in isolation. And so once again, I think the virus has gone through our community. The communicable part of the disease has been communicated. And so we just move forward. Thank you for the follow-up. And thank you all, and we'll see you in February at the town hall. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? So be it. My last thing. There you go. Are we to race up there?
Well, that's the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.